Curated has become a little bit of a trendy word in certain circles, but what does curation actually mean, and what does it mean for perfume? Today, I am going to be sharing with you the 4 elements that make a curated perfume collection a curated perfume collection. Element number 1 is that it represents you. When you are curating a collection, you are choosing perfumes that are specifically, like, they scream you in whatever way, shape, or form that may be. But when you are curating, you are choosing perfumes that you feel like, just bring the best out of you. You're choosing perfumes that you love and adore the absolute most. The perfumes that make you feel your best. The perfumes that make you feel confident. The perfumes that make you feel like you truly shine, right? The perfumes that just bring the best out of you. Those are the perfumes that you want in your curated collection. When we're talking about curation, we're not just talking, expensive perfume. No, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about perfumes that they specifically make you feel like the best version of yourself. Whatever that might be, right? For me, it might be, I have a lot of ambery perfumes. For you, it might be, all of my perfumes have some sort of element of rose in them, okay? Like, it could be anything. But the bottom line is that it represents you. And when you create this curated perfume collection that, it's full of perfumes that just scream you, that scream your personality. What ends up happening is that these scents, these fragrances, they sort of become a part of you. They sort of become, almost like an additional limb, right? An additional body part. And because of that, when you are wearing these perfumes enough, when you're wearing this type of perfume enough, when you're wearing your absolute favorite perfumes, they begin to be like associated with you, right? And I don't know, there's just something so wonderful about somebody smelling something of mine or smelling a certain smell and thinking, this smells like you, right? Like, I've had a number of people tell me before when they smell a certain fragrance, like, this smells like you. And I have no idea. That just brings me so much joy to know that they associate a specific smell, a good smell, with me. And so this is like sort of where those scent associations start coming in, is when you have a curated collection that, you are repeatedly and consistently wearing the same perfumes or very similar perfumes that it's like, they just scream you. And that leads me to element number 2, which is that your collection, a curated collection, is limited. Now, I want to make this very clear. I'm not saying, you can only have 5 perfumes if you have a curated perfume collection. Honey, no. My plan, my intention is not to only have 5 perfumes. I love perfume way too much for that. But the perfumes that make it into your collection, you are very particular about. You are very, very, very particular about. You have a very specific reason why you are purchasing a perfume. You are absolutely obsessed with the perfume. This perfume, it marks off, it checks off every single one of the requirements. If you are interested in seeing what my requirements are for my perfumes before I purchase a full-size bottle, then I'll link the video right here. Having that, those guidelines, right? That checklist, those requirements, it creates a filter for you so that, these outlier perfumes that it's like, I guess this is okay. No, they don't have, no, honey, they don't make it. But a limited collection, okay? And that might be, perhaps for you, it does mean that you only have 5 perfumes. For somebody else, it might mean 20 perfumes. But at the end of the day, it's limited. It is the very specific perfumes that you are looking for. Very specific scents and smells that you are looking for. You have a purpose for every single one of your fragrances. Okay, you have something in mind for them. You have a reason for why you are buying them. You have an event. You have a situation that you are purchasing this perfume for. Okay, so a very limited collection. It's not just collecting to collect. It's not just buying to buy. It is a very limited selection of perfumes that you've bought with purpose. And that leads me to element number 3. 3. Yes, 3. Yikes. Which is that the perfumes address something that you need. Okay, you are basically prepared for anything. All right, so what this looks like is that You have perfumes for everyday wear. You have perfumes for casual wear. You have perfumes for more formal wear, professional wear. You have perfumes for that like span multiple arenas. And I would also go as far as to say that you have versatile enough perfumes in your collection. Not that every perfume has to be this way, but you have versatile enough perfumes in your collection that they are multi-seasonal, okay? So what I mean by that is that it's like, okay, I don't want to have, these certain events and these certain like situations that I'm wearing perfumes to, and then I have, I have 20 perfumes for each of, like in all, for all of those events, and then I have to have those in all the seasons as well. Like, personally, I don't want that. If that is you, if you're like, okay, I have 4 perfumes in all, and then like I have each season, so that's like 16 perfumes, or like whatever, right? If you want to do the seasons as well, then do the seasons as well, right? Your girl don't care. But personally, I am looking for perfumes that they can span across seasons. Sure, there might be a few perfumes that it's like, like that sticks with like fall, winter, right? I think that those are the 2 seasons that are very like, these perfumes belong in fall and winter. But at the end of the day, what you are aiming for with a curated collection is preparedness, okay? So you are not stuck. You are not stuck. There have been countless times when it's like, I'm going to a certain event or I'm doing a certain thing, and it's like, I don't have the perfume for this event, right? All of my perfumes are too casual. All of my perfumes are too, like, formal, right? Like, we all have those things. We get in ruts, right? Where it's like this, like, I only have these things, right? I mean, it's almost like, if somebody dropped this event in your lap where you had to go and wear a formal gown, but you don't own a formal gown, and so then you're scurrying around, right? Perfume is the same way, is that if you are creating a curated collection, you have a perfume for the events that you need. Now, what I would have to say about this is that everybody's life looks different, okay? Personally, I really don't have special events to go to. I have a lot of everyday things. I do a lot of everyday things. I would have to say I have a number of more professional things that I'm trying to do. But at the end of the day, I don't really have a reason to have like a ton of super special event perfumes. I might have one, right? Like, as I am investing in this curated collection, at this point in time, I might purchase one. But then the rest of the perfumes that I purchase, they are going to cater to my life, and they are going to cater to the needs that I am operating within currently. Now, what I would say is that, for instance, with the special event thing, sure, I would like to have, a time in my life when I'm going to more special events. That sounds like a blast. And so you do invest a little bit into what you hope to achieve or where you hope to be, right? That's the same with anything. You have one super nice outfit, one super nice set of jewelry, one super nice perfume because you want to be prepared for whenever a certain opportunity arises. That doesn't mean that you're only going to go out and buy a bunch of suits and a bunch of, formal jewelry and formal perfumes, right? I don't have a whole bunch of high-heeled shoes I'm not going to wear. I have like 2 pairs. So purchasing a perfume where it's like, well, I would sort of like to be in this place at some point in time, or this happens to me occasionally, that's fine. But I would really recommend that you really invest in where you are going to be and what you are doing now. And the beauty of that is that, once again, you're never stuck. You're never, ever, ever stuck. It's not that you don't have variety, but at the end of the day, you aren't stuck not having the perfume that you need because you've thought ahead and you've purchased perfumes that fit with what your life requires. And that leads me to element number 4, which is that your decisions are made easy. Listen, at the end of the day, when you have this elaborate collection, right? What I like to call a complete collection versus a curated collection, when you have something that's more aligned with a complete collection, the overwhelm is so easy. It is so easy to be overwhelmed by the vast amount of product that you have in your possession, right? It's hard to make decisions. Because, well, I have 50 options. I don't really remember what all of them smell like. I'm not super fond of some of them. I know that. And so I'm going to have to smell all of these perfumes in order to make a decision. And so either you're not going to make the decision and not wear your perfume, or you're just going to go back to the same old perfume that you like. So why do you have all these other perfumes in the first place? that is sort of a big reason why I'm not a fan of having a complete collection, why I'm personally not a fan of having a complete collection, is because the decision making, I want to just be able to say, oh, well, I have 5 options here for this kind of day, so that's like, I'm going to choose from one of these. I know what all of them smell like. The decision is easier. And at the end of the day, I really don't want to be overwhelmed and stressed by my perfume collection, right? Life is stressful enough. And perfume is something that I really enjoy and that I really love and that I savor the experience of wearing a perfume. And so the last thing I want to do is make something that I love overwhelming and stressful for me to use and to enjoy. And so that is a major reason why I'm doing a curated collection, is because I want to be able to really enjoy and savor the perfumes that I have. Not to mention is a little bit more budget friendly to do a curated collection because I'm not trying to purchase all the perfumes on the market. So at the end of the day, a curated perfume collection is not about being restrictive, okay? Again, like I said, for some of you, you might have 5 perfumes in your curated collection, and for others, you might have 20, 30, 50, I don't know. But at the end of the day, it's not about being restrictive. It is about being very particular. It is about knowing what you like, knowing what you need, and purchasing accordingly. And if you are interested in knowing the tests that each and every one of my perfumes has to go through before it makes it into my collection, then I would highly recommend you watch my video where I share the 5 requirements that my perfumes have to meet.